Battlefield 6 has had a long journey since its launch, and Season 3 is trying to be one of the most impactful updates, with new content additions and new pillars of gameplay in the mix with large-scale balancing and changes. While this isn't early per se anymore, and you can check out Season 3 yourself, EA reached out and let me capture a mixture of the footage you're seeing today in this video early and sponsored this video. So while we dive into Season 3 and what it has to offer, let me know your thoughts down below on the new weapons, the return of Goldmud, Battle Royale, Ranked, and anything in between. If you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe for more Battlefield 6 and other FPS coverage. We got some more Battlefield content coming over the next few weeks, so I'd love to have in the community. For now, let's catch you up on what Battlefield 6 has been up to with Season 3. The first things first, the biggest thing that you'll probably jump into and notice is, of course, Railway to Goldmud. The largest of the marketed offering here are a reimagination of Goldmud Railway, this being the largest Battlefield 6 battleground to date. It's vehicle central, which I'm sure a lot of people will come to enjoy, pushing the boundaries of how far outside of the infantry area you can play with your vehicles, your jets, helicopters, and so on. Infantry, you better hop in something to get from point A to point B quicker, or deal with the likely death that will be coming in the open no man's land between capture points. Scaling the hillside, you'll have some warehouses and some in-construction bridges at the bottommost elevation, construction sites up at the top, with of course the focal point being that train being your roaming neutral zone, pushing towards each end of the map, creating some moving chaos depending on who ends up having control of it. It was a fun blast from the past that felt similar yet new and enjoyable in the form of Battlefield 6. If you end up taking a side-by-side comparison with Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 6, you'll of course notice the differences right away. A bit more cover, a bit more filled out areas of the map. Again, being familiar, but creating its own unique gameplay feel on this version. It was nice to be roaming around in the helos and tanks. Feels real good for vehicle play, while the closer quarters of the warehouses and construction sites can make for some solid firefights as an infantry player. While the scale of the map definitely plays into the favor of vehicle play, one of the first maps I feel confident in saying vehicles are the focus of, it doesn't take away from much of the other playstyles you may encounter, and for that, I do appreciate this reimagination here of that. Now, additionally, you also end up seeing the new weapons of the M16, RPK-74M, and L115 introduced with the start of the season here. The M16 excels in mid to short mid-range. The classic burst is back with options to make it fully automatic, chambered in 5.56 by 45mm. It's got a relatively average fire rate, but can absolutely do some damage with a faster reload, some nice handling properties, and can be a relatively versatile weapon in the arsenal. Again, in the right hands, it's going to be very dangerous. The RPK-74M is ideal for longer range combat, having minimal recoil and honestly kind of being a bullet hose at that point, where it's just something that's very easy to control. As a result, it's got a lower damage profile compared to other LMGs because, again, it is so easy to control, but that's the trade-off you end up getting with those types of weapons. Chambered in 5.45 by 39mm, it's got a faster fire rate than the RPK, but again, less powerful. A lot of fun to use. The L115, this is a classic bolt action. Said it's meant for longer ranges. This thing was a ton of fun to play around with. I'm not sure what more to say. I mean, it's a classic in just about any FPS game, but especially in Battlefield, it's one that feels real good to use. Now, we also saw the attachments of the speed holster, aftermarket buffer, and the burst mode. The speed holster is a lower cost attachment that will improve the weapon draw speed, and it's available to almost all sidearms. The aftermarket buffer will help with your weapon recoil, where rather than reduce horizontal and vertical effects, it allows your in-game soldier to fight that visual flinching and other effects. So a different way to tackle some of what you see in those gunfights. And then burst mode is available on other weapons like several of the SMGs, but it's something that while you end up having full auto for quite a few weapons, burst firing has been, since the very beginning, one of the better ways to control those shots at a distance. So to have that built in as a sort of hard stop to your shots, it's something you can consciously control that focused fire over distance perhaps. Now, of course, with a new season, we end up having a new battle pass as well. This coming along with a handful of different options for paths you can take. Firstly, the recruit, then the tiger shark, warlord hunters, warlord's command, and smuggled goods, before ultimately going on to the ultimate and prestige paths of the battle pass. Each of these offering their own distinct opportunities to end up gaining some initial content. The L115 is in the recruit path, the M16 and the tiger shark, and the RPK in the warlord hunters if you are looking to get those a little earlier, or one rather than the other earlier. But we all know how battle passes work. We all know the rewards that come along with those. So let's move on to the next big sort of foundational pillar of Battlefield 6's Season 3 update. That being RedSec, Ranked, Battle Royale. Now, this is something that is similar to other formulas in how the Battle Royale genre works. You'll end up having ranks through Rookie, upwards of Master, and Elite top 250. Each division will have 5 subdivisions minus the top 250 that you can grind out through. Each match you'll end up wagering ranked points to enter a match, your initial entry fee that you'll end up having to make back, and then earn more if you want to progress and rank up even further as the match continues to go. Now, matchmaking in Season 1 will be a little bit different. They're going to try and keep platforms together for the most part, consoles with consoles, PCs with PCs. They did mention that if there's a mix of console and PC in a party, they'll be thrown into the PC matchmaking, not necessarily other split matchmaking parties. So that is something that is a bit of a difference compared to what you may see out there in other ranked modes. Now, rank banding is also something you'll have to consider, and that's the ability to play with people within 2 ranks of your highest player in your squad. That's the only players you can both play with and matchmake. So both your party has to conform to that 2 rank above or below rule, as well as who you'll end up playing against. So, i.e., you won't be able to have a master player with a rookie. That just won't happen. You won't be able to hard carry or smurf down into lower ranks. Now, the seasonal rewards you'll end up getting, some are awarded upon entering a new rank immediately. Some will be at the end, like seasonal camos, depending on where you finish and your placement for the overall season. So this offering a bit more of a dynamic to the Battle Royale experience within RedSec, ultimately leading to the Elite Series, that being the tournament series that was initially going to be set up shortly after launch, but we're going to see that now back in the fold with everything in the near future. Beyond that, though, that's a lot of stuff you'll see in terms of the front-facing content, the foundational adjustments, but let's talk about some actual back-end stuff, because there were a few things at a top level that were adjusted that will make for the gameplay feeling a little bit different. Weapon balancing, we saw automatic weapon recoil actually being adjusted to better define weapon strengths at range. Shotguns receiving new attachment options, the magnifier is now available on a shared optic accessory level, and multiple reload, animation, reticle, and attachment issues have been resolved to improve handling and readability. The biggest of these probably being the weapon recoil here, where it's offering a bit more visual bounce there with that. So it will definitely take a little bit of getting used to, but some of these weapons are now no longer just point and click, where you won't get away with any sort of recoil. Vehicles also had a somewhat overhaul here at this, where land and air vehicles have gone through a broad balance and handling pass, with tracked vehicle mobility reworks, tank damage and regeneration systems updated, repair behavior rebalanced, and a wide set of vehicle weapons retuned to make survivability, counterplay, and damage output more predictable. Gadgets also saw some adjustments, where mines, launchers, portable mortars, the engineer supply crate, hardware suppression systems, and laser designation tools all have been updated to be a part of the broader vehicle pass, with a focus on making launchers more viable, giving anti-vehicle gadgets clearer roles, and improving clarity and consistency in how support gadgets behave in combat. While core gameplay and combat feedback improvements were adjusted, where pinging is now faster and more consistent, hit reactions and damage indicators are clearer, drag and revive has been further polished, and multiple netcode fixes improve readability during combat without interfering with gunfight outcomes. So all in all, Battlefield 6's Season 3 update was something that not only added new content, larger scale content, which a lot of people have been asking for, but also a lot of fundamental changes to not only the Battle Royale experience with like ranked play and everything coming along there, but also in terms of the core gameplay mechanics as well, between the weapon balancing, vehicles, gadgets, and core gameplay experiences. So while it's been a little over a half year now since the game has launched, Season 3 looks to be that push forward to regain some momentum, the first of the 2026 in the roadmap here at this for the post-launch support, and doing right by players, sticking to that DNA of Battlefield, and fingers crossed is that first of many right steps in the right direction that they set out to achieve with the recent announcement of 2026 as a whole. So with that, what do you think? What do you think of the Season 3 update so far? Are you liking it and what it may have to offer, whether that be Railway to Goldmud, whether it be the new weapons, the new ranked experience within RedSec? Let me know your thoughts down below. But if you guys enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor, drop a like on it. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Battlefield 6 and even more FPS content. I'd love to have you in the community. For now, though, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the battlefield. Take care and peace.